Hello, my name is Brad Averill and welcome to article review number 1. The article title that I reviewed was called A Self-Determination Theory-Based Investigation of Life Skill Development in Youth Sports. The authors were Cronin, Ellison, Allen, Huntley, Johnson, Castelli, Hollis, and Marchant. The journal selected was from the Journal of Sports Science in 2022, and the citation is listed below. Research question and hypothesis of this study. The study sought to examine how coach autonomy support, controlling coaching, basic need satisfaction, and basic need frustration either positively or negatively related to participants' life skill development while participating in youth sports. To reiterate, the study context sought to examine how coach autonomy support, controlling coaching, basic need satisfaction, and basic needs frustration either positively or negatively related to participants' life skills development in youth sports. Given that studies have been done around physical education, this study about voluntary single sports for multiple hours after school will add to our understanding of life skill development. And the main objective of this study is to examine their participants' development of life skills through sport using self-determination theory. For the methodology, study participants included 309 sport participants with a median age of 14.71 years old and comprised both males and females in the study. The participants were predominantly English. These participants were taking part in club sports at a competitive level. They took part in the main sport for an average of 4.38 hours per week and had participated in that sport for an average of 6 years, while their current coach coached them for about 3 years. The main sports that were represented in this sample were soccer, field hockey, basketball, dance, netball, and rugby. Some other sports include swimming, badminton, and track and field. Validated scales and methodology used for this study included the autonomy, supported, and controlled coaching from Cronin. This talks about how athletes would listen to how they would like to do things. The empowering and disempowering motivational climate questionnaire. An example of this would be shouts at athletes in front of others to make them do certain things. That's kind of the negative aspect that is explored in this study. We also used the basic need satisfaction and sports scale. This was a 20-item scale assessing the competence satisfaction, relatedness satisfaction, and the autonomy satisfaction. And the last validated scale that was used was the life skills scale for sport. An example was, this sport has taught me, and then it lists an example of different social skills and interpersonal skills for their personal development. Key findings in this research study, the correlational findings demonstrated that the autonomy supportive coaching was positive related to the participants' basic need satisfaction and their development of 8 life skills. The 8 life skills include teamwork, goal setting, social skills, problem solving and decision making, emotional skills, leadership, time management, and interpersonal communications. The basic need satisfaction was positively related to the development of life skills. The correlational findings in this present study also showed that controlling coaching was only associated with basic need frustration and had no statistically significant associations with their participants' life skills development. Mediational analysis found that total need satisfaction mediated the association between autonomy supportive coaching and participant development of the 8 life skills. These results provides an important vision into the pathways in which participants develop life skills in youth sports. This was a very novel study. In terms of the relevance to coaching or behavior change, this program dealt explicitly with youth sports coaching and the behavior change over time in those youth sports. So this fits perfectly with coaching. Strengths and limitations. The sum of the strengths, only 0.3% of the missing data was accounted for. Research study supported and validated multiple other research projects with data collected related to self-determination theory. There's a long list of studies in which this study backed up previous research. And using the self-determination theory, the novel findings from this study show that the autonomy supportive coaching is positively related to the participants' life skill development in youth sports through satisfaction of the needs and for relatedness, autonomy, and competence. Some of the limitations to this study, the data was self-reported, so memory recall and social desirability can influence these findings and results. The sole focus of this study was on the self-determination theory. Future research can investigate a wider range of both negative and positive learning experiences And because this was a cross-sectional study, we cannot allow for causality to be determined as a result of this study. The evaluation of the design, sample, and validity of this study. The design, it was a cross-sectional correlational design. This study used mediation analysis to test whether the psychological needs explain how coaching behaviors can relate to life skills. The sample, we talked about the participants in this study a few slides ago, but there were 309 youth sports participants, primarily from the United Kingdom in this study. And the validity, we talked about how this study used previously validated measures of support and constructs this research from being measured accurate. In practice, the results of this study showed that coaches and life skill program instructors looking to foster participants' life skill development should aim to create an autonomy supportive climate that satisfies participants' three basic psychological needs. In my personal reflection, while the results of this study do a great job of showing the impact of autonomy support coaching using the self-determination theory, the fact is simple. Good coaches make good kids. Positive reinforcement and interaction can help learn life skills. I used to oversee the youth sports program for the YMCA of Central Florida, and you can tell a difference of those coaches that focus on the methods of basic need satisfaction or basic need frustration tactics. In the conclusion and future considerations, while this study is novel in the field of self-determination theory, the concept of establishing life skills by treating kids with kindness, love, and compassion is not novel. It's common sense. Good coaches help build good character kids. Some future considerations, given some of the correlational findings, future studies could assess if basic needs frustration mediates any potential associations between coaching autonomy support and life skill development, and whether basic need satisfaction mediates any potential associations between controlling coaches and controlling development of students. This concludes my presentation and article review number 1. Here are the references that were used during this review today. Thank you for watching.